Okay, it says that it's starting to stream right now. Okay. Okay, I can see myself on the monitor. Wonderful. Yeah, my little dogs are here. I guess it says that I'm turning on the live stream, and they're now right next to me. Hey, you want to get on the camera? Come here, Lily. Come. She just ran away. Come here. You want to get on camera? You'd be on a live view, live Sunday. She's sniffing me. You can see her little nose going, wrinkling. Come on. Come here, baby. You get on live TV. Oh, well, she'll probably come to me later. Yes, I just want to say good morning, good afternoon. My goodness, good afternoon. This is Spirit Journey, and yes, we are live, and it's 2:41 p.m. It's Sunday, and I'm looking outside right now in front of me, and the sky looks beautiful. It's sky blue, and no clouds whatsoever, but it looks absolutely beautiful. And it's sunny. Yeah, I haven't gone out yet. Yes, today is going to be, I entitled this Hello Sunday. It's February 18th, 2018. And yeah, it's been a while. I feel so funny being behind the camera. I haven't been behind the camera in a couple of days here, and I'm doing some experiments right now too. I'm actually streaming live, and I'm using this software called OBS, and it's I forget what it stands for, but it enables you to, when you're live streaming, and you can have different texts and formats on the screen, like what you see on the channel, the news on television. They have these captions, lower thirds, like the person's name and other things. So right now, let's see, I'm going to show, okay, I have let me see, and, okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm showing a live. That's weird. I'm just noticing now that the background, let's see, that's where it cropped it. Very interesting. It cropped it too far over, so I have to correct that. So that's on the knee and lower thirds, and okay, so I can fix it. Oh, I can fix it now. Okay, I just fixed that. And now let me transition over. Ta-da! All right. Yes. Okay, I'm really happy about it. So it's good to know. This is no, this might be the second time, but really I want to really get into using OBS in doing my live streams, whether it's just myself. And I eventually want to find out how to do live streaming when I'm interviewing people. So today is just going to be myself, and I'm incorporating the software OBS. And as you can see on the screen right now, you can see my channel name, Spirit Journey, below. And yes, let's see what else. So yeah, I want people to know who I am, and so it's so people know, like, people might enter the conversation later on. Let's say they're new with my channel, and they might want to know, hey, who's she? And so it'll have the person's name, so it's engaging as well. And I also have here, let me see, okay, and let me put a transition. I hope this works. Okay. Now this is supposed to be, very similar, but I'm supposed to have like when you get a live chat. Let me see what happens here. I'm going to chat myself. Make sure that it's working. Okay. Okay, I'm typing in a little message. Okay, let's try it. So, okay, let me see what happened. Did it come up? Oh yes, it did. I'm looking now. Yes, so as you see on the top, right on the screen, you should see my name, Spirit Journey, and I say hello world. So yes, it is working. Yeah, so that's important. I want things to work because also when I'm doing folks, well, I have an interview coming up. The interview will be on the 28th of this month, February 28th. And we don't have a time yet. I'm going to be interviewing a fellow YouTuber. He's an experiencer of the Secret Space program, and his name is Tony Rodriguez. And he's living here in the States, and I'm looking forward to interviewing him. And he seems like a really, really nice guy, And so I want to do it live, and I want to enable the chats because I want to allow, in the course of the interview with him, that people will be able to ask him questions via the chats. So I just want to make sure that it works. So when I do when I do the interview with them, everything is set up. But as you know, that if anything could happen, that it might happen, So I really want to iron out the kinks that are in the formatting of this, So I see that works. Okay. So what else here? Yeah, let's see, I have one person watching. Hello out there. Hello, person that's watching the live stream. Yes, this is Spirit Journey, and it's Sunday, and this is live, and it's the Hello Sunday. Yeah, I like Sundays. I like just relaxing on Sundays, and I had for breakfast, I like my hot cereal. That's like a comfort food. I blend the two actually. I use what do you call it? I like cream of wheat and farina, and I mix the two, and I cook them together at the same time, so it's not too much of one texture. So I've been doing that. I did like maybe 3 times, and I like it. So yeah. So Sundays I like a traditional breakfast on Sunday. So it might be like, in the winter months I like hot cereal. Okay. Let's see what else here. So I'm still going through using the OBS. Oh, OBS, Open Broadcast Sharing, I think, something like that, Open Broadcast. Let me check what the actual name is. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I don't want to give you wrong information. So I have let's see. Okay, press that. Yeah, I have my computer. Okay, it's OBS. That's the software I'm using. It stands for Open Broadcaster Software. Yay! Yes, and there's a Windows version and a Mac OS version. So I'm using the Mac version for Open Broadcaster Software. And I did find on it that there is not a tutorial, it's a PDF file, and I need to really go through it to find out what it could do, how to navigate using OBS. This is all new to me, and I see with my channel that I want to start to expand and really present some nice videos, nice content for you, you know. So that's what I'm aiming for. And so I did get a new mic. So, you know, as you many of you know, I have a very soft voice, and yeah. So I bought a Rode mic, and it uses a US I think a USB port. You know, it plugs into the computer itself. You know. So yeah. So let me know if you guys could hear me okay. Am I loud enough? And everything here. I hope to be loud enough. Okay, so I've been on for about 10 minutes. And yes, it's Sunday, so people could be out and about. Let's see, I want to check. Um, yeah, I want to check to see the how it looks on, you know, how everyone else sees the live view. Okay. So I just want to make sure everything's set up, because it could look one way in the window you're looking at it, and then, but another view might look like something else. So I don't, you know, I want to make sure that's working correctly. Okay. Hope it's doing it right. Okay, I'm just on the computer. Okay, I see that that's on. Okay. Let's see what else. Live dashboard. Let me see what that is. Okay. So I'm just still navigating here. So I know that there are different views how you can look at something. So I just want to make sure how. There's another view, like, as I said, how it looks like when, you know, if I'm just a regular person on YouTube. I can't find that screen. Let's see. Can't find the link. Can I go in Video Manager? Let's see. Is it Video Manager? Live streaming. Let me try that live streaming button. Okay. It's like when you want to try to find something, you can't, you know, you're not able to find it. Let's see. Oh, well, that's okay. Well, anyway, I want to talk to you about yeah, it's been a while since I've been on YouTube. At least that's how I feel. Yeah, actually the past couple of weeks, I've been having some serious headaches. You know, headaches right at the temple over here, and a little bit on the forehead, but really concentrated right here. And I bought, you know, I really don't want to use, you know, aspirin or whatever like that. You know, I really don't. But I said, well, I really need relief. It's been hurting me for a couple of weeks now. So I bought this thing called Tiger Balm. And in essence, what it is, it's a petroleum base, and it has camphor and menthol. It's like, it like gives a warm feeling, you know. So I put some over here to try to ease it. It does feel good actually when you put it on. You know, you have to be real careful because it might get in your eye, and if that does, you know, it's going to really burn and your eyes are going to tear. But yes, I used that. I put some on today, and you know, it's all attention headache, and I have to learn how to just relax as Spirit Journey. You know, I did go. I find that when I go out with my little dogs and get some fresh air, that it eases up actually. You know, your mind gets distracted, and you just kind of, you do feel better. So I think after I do this live streaming, that I'll bring the little dogs out, and so right now they're just sleeping. They say they know mommy's on the computer, and so if they're usually pretty good. They usually stay real quiet whenever they ate, and they know I'm on the computer right now. Um, but yeah, it's good. It's good. You know, they one of them is right in front of me, and yeah, she's doing well. So yeah, but the past 3 weeks I've been feeling a little tense, and I'm not really sure why. I think I think sometimes I take life too seriously. There's a lot of things happening in the media, and I have to learn how to let go. That you can't so much. I think too emotionally involved sometimes with things in the media, and I need to really, really, you know, calm down and not take things so personal, and not to take family matters. That's another thing, family. You really do. You only have one family, and sometimes miscommunications, and I think that's all what it is, a miscommunication. But still, you feel what you feel. And so what I've been doing, I kind of um, took a hiatus from family, about a 2 month, yeah, about a 2 month hiatus. And I think that's what it is. But sometimes you just have to separate a little bit. I'll always be there for them if they need my help. Help them. Help where they can. Um, so I saw some. Yeah, I went out yesterday, actually, and I saw family, and it was good to see them. Yeah, I went over to my mom's, and I saw two of my brothers, and we went off to see a cousin of ours and aunt and uncle. And yeah, it's been a while since I've seen them, my relatives, and they live in Nassau County. That's the county right next to Queens County, and I went to see them. It was like a combo. My mother's birthday. My mother turned 89 years old. Yep, really happy about that. She looked very, very good. She was very alert. She's mobile. She's able to walk by herself, but her memory is, um, you know, not the same. And so I think that kind of makes me feel a little sad. But she was good. She was good yesterday, and I saw my relatives, and they're not doing well at all. One of them is older than my mom, and the other is younger. And I think when I saw them, again, I'm very sensitive. I don't like to see good people suffer at all. And they were, yes, hi, I see we have 4 people watching. Yes. So yes, this is Spirit Journey, and welcome again to my live broadcast for this Hello Sunday, February 18th. I'm just discussing that I went to see family and relatives, and so we had a nice gathering, and the person's house, the relative that the activist was in, was really nice. Beautiful, beautiful house, and I like how the arrangement was. He has really nice material in his home, the walls, the ceramics, beautiful. Really, the whole house is done really nice. And yeah, so I saw 2 of my relatives there, and I really felt, wow. I felt like I was going to get an anxiety attack at one point, and I felt very, I think, hyper alert at one point. And I said, oh gosh, I hope I don't get an episode. But sometimes I start to hyperventilate a little bit. Yeah, I want to be honest. See, I do these videos because, see, I know I'm not alone. And I know you have people who want to appear one way. But I feel, one thing with truth, it follows you, and lying follows you. And I feel that, this is my channel Spirit Journey, and I want people to know. Because if it's happening to me, I know that it could happen to other people. So when I see people in a situation, because one of them have, what's it called? Parkinson's disease. Really has a really bad case of Parkinson's, and this was a strong man and everything. He stood tall and everything. I highly respect him. And here his mind is good, but it's just his motor skills. So he's not able to walk by himself. He requires a walker, but even with the walker, you still have to really watch him. And to see him get like this, I start to get a little emotional. So, so some of us was in the main room where the TV was on, and then others were in the kitchen. And I saw the conversation in the kitchen was lively. It was just two people in the kitchen. I said, let me go in there and just get up, feeling, better, uplifted. So I went in there, and it was very lively, the conversation, and I just stood there, listened, and then after a while, the anxiety that I had went away, and then I started to relax and everything, and I had a few sips of wine, and it turned out very well, and so it was good to see family and relatives there, and I really hope we're able to have many more. This side of the family is a smaller branch, not as many people. And my father's has a lot of people, but so this family is on my mother's side, and so I don't see them a lot, and I say I really want to get into these know my family, my relatives, and learn from them, because I usually just saw them when I was real small, when I was very young, but now we're all adults and everything, and to see how we've all, changed and how we remain the same as well, So, let's see, so I was mentioning earlier that, I've been getting headaches at the temple area of my head, and what else? And I know it's all about family. And I feel like I'm changing. I feel that I've been avoiding doing the type of interviews that I've been, not interviews, but my live videos or even my regular, it's like I'm slowing down. It's like I feel like I'm regrouping myself because I was producing a lot of content videos, but now I feel like I'm slowing down a little bit. I feel like I need to regroup. So I think that's part of it. Sometimes you go to a certain level, and then you even out, and then you have to where do you want to go from this point on? And I think part of this re-gauging myself is about doing the live video that I want to do. I meant to say the live interview that's scheduled to the end, at the end of this month. And this interview that I'm planning on doing, it's going to be about, how do you say, the Secret Space program. So I really hope you all watch. It should really be very interesting, and you could even, in prep of this live interview that I want to do for February 28th of this year, 2018, you could, Google or go on YouTube and type in Secret Space Program or the Super Soldier Program and get like an overview what it's all about. I'm interested in learning more. Yeah, hey, hi Betty. Yes, it's good to see you. Yeah, yeah, belated birthday. Yeah, not. Oh yeah, for my mom. Yeah, Betty Lucky is saying, just belated birthday wishes to your mother. A love most of us have for our mothers. Either still here or past is a strong bond, even at a distance. Yeah, that's so true. That's so true, Betty. Yes, I enjoy hearing Betty. I love reading her comments. She's Betty Lucky is really encouraging for me. And yes, it's Sunday. So people might be out in church or enjoying this weather and out and about, But I feel like I haven't been doing my videos and I feel kind of guilty. I was going to do my live video last weekend and I kind of, I just kind of slack and I feel myself slacking and I don't want to do that. So today I said, just do it, do the video, because sometimes people look forward to watching. Even though I don't say, okay, every Saturday or Sunday or Wednesday, whatever, that I'm going to do one, but if you do it twice, people expect it, and I like doing them, but for whatever reason, I've been feeling a little slack. Yeah, Betty, I feel a little distracted, and I was mentioning that the tension headache that I've been having on the side here, it's over a month actually. So, but otherwise, I'm okay and everything, and I've been doing I only went twice to the library. I did tell you guys earlier that I'm doing research on the Bible, the book of Genesis, with regard to Noah and one of his sons called Ham. And Ham, or some people might say Ham, Ham had a son named Canaan, and how some people have, in history, have been using that particular chapter in Genesis to promote racism against certain groups. And in particular, the group that they're really targeting are black people. So I want to research where the myth of the whole interpretation, how they even got to say and pinpoint a certain group from a Bible, and then this particular book of the Bible was written about 4,000 years ago. So how could something from 4,000 years ago, and then you pinpointed to a modern group now? So that it's something that's very important to me, and I think for any group here, because people could point a finger at someone and it had nothing to do with a particular person or group, and how people base how they treat people because of a alleged book that has information, and who wrote it. Anyone could write anything and say, oh, it's about you. So I find it problematic. And I feel that people are being brainwashed. You have, let's say something is really valid about the scripture. Some of the things of the scripture is very informative. It could be very positive, but sometimes things could be distorted and used against you to harm you and to, most of all, control. And that's my beef with certain things in Scripture, that it could be taken out of context. So I'm doing research about this topic, about Ham and Canaan, and what it really means. And I'm wondering whether I really want to do an extensive research on the topic. And I'm thinking about possibly making like a little book, a little pamphlet, and to, put it in, what do you call it, Amazon, sell it on Amazon. It depends. If I'm able to really get in-depth, tangible evidence on the history of this particular Bible chapter in Genesis about Noah and his son Ham and Canaan, I want to do it. I feel at this point in my life that I want to be able to substantiate any claim I make. I don't want to be like another YouTuber and just have all these claims and no proof. But even if I do something like that, I want to say, I don't have proof, but this is how I feel. And that's okay too. People could say, I feel a particular way. You feel what you feel. And so you can't really contest how someone feels, how they, if they're being subjective on a matter. If they feel good, then they feel good. If they feel bad, they feel bad. It's all subjective, So I think that's part of it. Family and my doing this research on the book of Genesis. Yeah, I went twice already. And so right now what I want to do now with it, I had gathered my initial information and I was writing my notes, but now I want to reread I took copies of the material. I have like a smartphone, an iPhone, and I take pictures of the pages that I'm reading. So in case if I decide maybe not to do it in book form, then I would go, do a video and upload the passages where I get my information, and I want to substantiate my claims and why certain things are such. So that's my goal. So, but I see that it could make you feel a certain way, and I guess all of this stuff that's happening in the media, after a while it could get to you, okay? Yeah, and you know what else? What I do in my videos, like sometimes, like I could be laying in bed and then I get an idea. And so let me show what I was doing. This little napkin, I wrote my notes on it. I said, oh, I gotta write this down before I forget. So I had this pencil, and this is just a little tissue. So of course I can't write it well. And when I went to do a video, I couldn't read it. And so I couldn't discuss what it was all about. So I said, oh boo. So, but yeah, now I could understand what I wrote. And so I rewrote what I wrote on the little napkin so I could understand it. And yeah, so I might as well talk about it now since I rewrote what it says, now I could read it. Yeah, I did this note, I think it could have been a month ago. And it was the time when I was doing a video about the relationship with women, how some women start to kind of antagonize each other, and unfortunately, especially when they're of two different ethnic groups or racial groups. So I wanted to talk about that. I don't know, I just felt very passionate at that time when I wrote it down. Again, it's the social climate. But one thing I could say before I really talk about what I was going to talk about a month or so ago, but I couldn't read my notes, about race relations. And it's very interesting. Like I come from a diverse background, and I was born and raised here, and I sound like a little tape recorder, a little bird, a parrot, because I've said this so many times on my channel. But yeah, I'm born and raised here in New York City, and I had a serious identity problem. I didn't know who I was racially. I mean, I know my skin is brown, but I didn't know who I was. You could look like anything, and to other people it's obvious what you are. But until someone really tells you who you are, especially in the context of the environment that you live in. You could be of a particular group, and let's say this group lives in a particular country or neighborhood, but you don't know who you are. And I think that was a big problem for me. And so for me, like, you are who you are, and you have to really be taught what you are in relationship to others. And eventually it'll hit you. And that's what could make people fall. When you get hit, I don't mean physically hit, but reality or the social environment could be traumatic for you. And I've always had an issue with the white and black communities, but I feel now like it's okay to be any race that you are, but I would say it's not okay to discriminate or to put harm on others, to prevent people from moving into where they want to live, or let's say in school. You have fights and everything. And this family, these relatives that I saw just yesterday, they lived in a community, and they had a lot of challenges growing up because of what they looked like. Their parents look like one race, but the kids look like something else, obviously not, European. And so if you lived in a white neighborhood back then, and in some white communities, if they find out you have any African in you, it's an issue. But it's nice to see them that in spite of some of the challenges that they've been through, that they were able to withstand the punches of racism or biasness, and I think with myself that I've always felt like I had to try to overcompensate. And so I think to some people it might look kind of maybe not natural how I'm acting, whatever, but when you feel like you have to please everybody, you have to act a certain way, and it's like, enough is enough. I feel that people should be themselves. That sometimes people might say, well, if you're a member of this race or this nationality, or if you live in the South or the North, you're supposed to sound a certain way, talk a certain way. But if you don't fit in the cookie cutter, you have people who make a big issue, and so it's really something. And I think also, like, I have relatives who have married people outside of their race, and I feel like they're nice. Some of them were really nice people, and one of them that I saw yesterday, she's friendly. And how I feel, it's like how I honestly feel. If you're married to family or relatives, then you're family in my book. So regardless of your race or your nationality, if you're married into my family or relatives, you're one of us. That's how I feel. And to treat people's spouses to be respectful, and they should be respectful to you too. But it's just how I feel. But I have watched different YouTube channels, and like in general, I don't like to mention people's channel names, but if I do, then I do. But I would say like a month ago, I was under tension. I felt like in a turmoil that was that I was experiencing regarding race in American politics and all that. And this particular YouTuber, he doesn't, he's against interracial dating, and he wants, he's black centric, and yes, I'm black centered also, but I can't tell anybody who they're to marry or date. I don't feel, I understand the other YouTubers' view. I understand the history of where he's coming from. But seeing my relatives and spouses of relatives or family members, I feel like I can't, I know it might sound hypocritical at times, but I can't tell someone you can't marry or you can't date somebody because of something else. And especially if my background might be of a mixed heritage, I can't put down whites or blacks. I but I get angry at both of us. I get angry at blacks. I get angry at whites of the turmoil that could be that happens in the United States. But when I saw my family and learning about my history, I feel that we all should really embrace who we are, even those histories that historical events that may not have been positive that was done against you. But if you're part of that mix, I just say embrace all of you and ask the universe to take your histories and that your genetic history to make them work well in unison and in harmony with each other, rather than trying to hide what you are or to deny who you are or, just be a self-hater. I say, have them embrace one another, especially genetically. If you're of a racially mixed background, why fight your genetics? You say, this is my package deal, this is what history has given me. Work with it, embrace it, and so you don't want it to attack you. I think that's why some people get, I think some people get self-haters, and it can happen. I shared many times. I hated being myself. At one point, I never liked looking in the mirror. I didn't. I hated myself. I hated every aspect of myself. I hated having big eyes. I hated having big lips. I hated my skin. I hated every aspect of myself. I walked in shame, and a lot of that shame was also due to molestations that was done upon me. But now I feel embrace all of you, embrace all of your history. And when you are able to embrace yourself, a lot of the tension does start to fall off of you, But I think those people who haven't fully embraced themselves, they start to get certain diseases, they can maybe get cancers, other ailments. Like right now I have this tension headache. It's because I got to let go of stress, because it can eat you up alive. But, so I say, I just felt I needed to come clean with that, because I feel that some of my videos, it was like both sides, it's like fighting each other. And I felt I felt I was being pulled down. And I don't want to go there. I don't want to be considered a hater. But I honestly do feel that it's okay to have your nation, to be a part of a nation, to be a part of a group within a group, because you wanna live with people who want you. And I felt at one time in um, recent history that I was being hated by certain peoples, and the cattiness, and I think I mentioned in some of my more recent videos that how certain so-called minority groups outside of my own are being used to target Black Americans, and I still feel this way. I honestly do. And I'm angry at that because we have more in common. And why believe the lies that European Americans have perpetuated against American blacks? You know, and I feel all throughout the Americas that people are targeting North American blacks, but yet they like listening to African American music like the rap, hip hop, R&B, jazz, you know what I'm saying? So it's like they like the art form and all that, all the performances, but then they don't want the group, and I feel that's hypocritical. So I guess part of me is very jealous for American blacks that they've done so much, I think, and I think they're being targeted, and that aspect I feel I don't like. But at the same time, many of us, many American blacks have done things that we should be ashamed about. The things, the crimes that happens in our neighborhoods, it's pathetic. And I think part of that is what's making me sad and giving me these recent headaches, because I feel that we need to come together, and I feel that as a group we're being put into something else. We're being forgotten, and I guess my vanity is telling me I don't like to feel that I'm being squashed out. I think I'm too vain to feel like I'm being brushed away. I don't like that. So, but that's healthy though. No one wants to feel that they're being brushed away, that they're being forgotten. We all have egos. We all want to feel that we're here to last. And so when we feel like we're being forgotten and brushed away, our pride comes in, it kicks in. So, yeah, so I just felt that I needed to really come clean with that, because I don't want to promote hateism, but I want to be real. I want to be real with my feelings, my emotions, and maybe that's part of the reason I had the headaches. Maybe I was trying to feel like I really don't feel uncomfortable, but I was. So, yeah, be real with how you feel, and just manage how you feel. So, yeah. So there was something else I wanted to say. Yeah, like I was just looking at my notes here. Yeah, I wanted to talk about this robot, like how this robot is in relationship to this race crisis that is developing in the U.S. Well, I think on one level, people are trying to exploit the differences in this country as it pertains to race and different nationalities, and they want to cause a race riot. And I've said repeatedly, don't fall for that. See, some things are real that can be happening, but you have someone exploiting that reality of hatred. They want to cause the country to fall apart. And no, I love this place too much. Even though all the problems that we have in this country, I'm really I'm pro-American. And at one point I didn't feel like I was included in the statistics of, the whole system of being an American. But I feel now, I said to myself, wait a minute. I'm a veteran. I've served my country proudly, and I don't want anyone to take it away from me, or people to say I'm not a real American because I'm not of a particular race or religion. No. The fact that my feet are here, that I'm born and raised here, I'm an American. And I think it's okay to be proud to be an American, and I think it's also proud to be of any other nationality or race or whatever. Everyone should be able to look in the mirror and say, you know, I'm proud just to be who I am, and that I want to promote. So I think it's okay to enjoy different types of foods. You can share your food, your culture with other people, you know. I think the main thing is that people want to feel respected. They want to feel respected about who they are. And I think when people don't feel respected, that they get on the defense. So, yeah, what I also want to talk about, yeah, about a month ago, I found this video about this robot. It's an AI robot called Sophia. I've made mention of Sophia before. And what I wanted to share with regard to women in this country, women of color, as it pertains to Sophia. Now, Sophia is an AI robot. It could walk, it has certain facial expressions and everything, and it's spooky in my opinion. And I'm thinking, now, at least in New York City, at least in my experience, many of the newer immigrants in New York City, they work primarily in the cooking industry, and I used to be, I was in many industries, but one of them was in the cooking field, hotel restaurants and restaurants, and also like fast food places, but the fast food, and what else? Yeah, and retail. I almost forgot retail also. Many of the groups that are getting into these entry-level jobs are so-called minority people, people of color, and many of these people are Hispanics. And I feel sometimes, and West Indians and also Asian, but in New York City, the largest, I hate this use of term minority, I hate it, but the largest non-white group are people from Latin America, and they work very hard. They're good workers, and I'm just looking at my notes. That's why I'm looking down here. But I find like that there's strife, and unfortunately I've experienced some of the people try to sabotage my work, and it really to get me fired. And that has happened. It's happened here in New York City, and it's happened when I lived in Hawaii, in Maui. And I'm saddened about it because I think what's happening that they hear how I talk, so they say, okay, sounds like she's from here, and you know, she looks successful, but I don't want her to have this job. I want her job, blah, blah, blah. I've had jobs where a woman and she was a white Jewish woman in Ashkenazi, and she followed me to the bathroom telling me that I shouldn't have the job that I have, and she is to have my job, and she deserves it over. She was going on and on. And so I find that women, and what in that case that was an Ashkenazi or Hispanic women or West Indian women, that it's like like a frenzy, and that women are attacking other women's ability to have certain work, and they want you out so they can get their friends in or family members. And I'm really saddened about that. I really wanted to talk about that because it's not fair, and that I understand where you're coming from, but again, as women, we all know as women that there's always a new flavor, and that what you do to others can, and with karma, some people believe in, will happen to you. And I feel as women, and women globally, that we that we're on thin ice, because most women in the world are being oppressed, I feel, especially in traditional societies. That would be like in Asia, that the power struggle between men and women are extreme. Men have it over women. The Arab-speaking world, you have women like in Saudi Arabia, where this AI robot, Sophia, is from Saudi Arabia. And I have a feeling that this Sophia, this artificial intelligence robot, is going to take over. And so you have women that want to compete, and this infighting, and jealousy. Ladies, what could happen to you with this robot, artificial intelligence? Well, you had men that designed her, and men know what men like. And they're going to devise this AI robot to do things, if you know what I mean. And so what is preventing these developers of this artificial intelligence robot called Sophia to replace you? That's right. It can replace you. They can teach Sophia and robots like Sophia to cook and clean without complaining, sexual stuff, to make this artificial intelligence to say what he wants to hear, right? So here women are fighting each other, and to get this job, that job, right? But bingo, you have this robot called Sophia. They could then mass produce her, and so they won't need you. So like you have the serving the food, like I mentioned about the cooking industry. Many newcomers into the United States, they enter the cooking field because there's a lot of work in it. It's very hard, difficult work. I wouldn't want to go back in the cooking field at all. I only lasted a couple of years in it, and I said I had enough. I went to school to learn pastry arts here in New York City. And I thought it would be a brand new, career change for me. I worked in finance at the time, just before I went into the cooking field, and I thought I never want to be in the finance industry again. It's a cutthroat, this and that, blah, blah, blah. I was making the okay money. I was able to pay my bills. I had my own place. I said, I don't want to do this anymore. So I went into the cooking field. And I have a sweet tooth, so I thought, let me go into this this field and turn my back on the financial industry, and yeah. But I had no idea it was going to be like that. I think I was perceived as an outsider in the cooking field. It's not a lot of, at least in New York City, it's not a lot of American black women in the field. You may have women of color, but they're not from the U.S. They're from other countries, and it's also very male-dominated too. And that was another strike against me. But it was a very tough field, and it was a field that really relied on new immigrants, because you can pay them less. And so when I lived in Hawaii, they were from Mexico, this particular restaurant. It was like a no, it wasn't fast food, but it was like hamburgers and, Tex-Mex type of food. And they brought in a lot of people. There are a lot of undocumented workers living in Hawaii. And they're not just from Mexico, they're from all over the world, a lot from Asia. But in this particular restaurant, these undocumented workers were primarily from Mexico. And I lost my job there. They had, I already gave that story how the event occurred, but it happened in stages of removing my presence from that job. But I make mention of it because, see, what I realize now is that things are going to happen in stages. It doesn't just happen overnight. So whether you bring in what they call guest workers or illegal aliens, they're going to be used initially, and one by one the U.S. citizens or legal residents might be pushed out of jobs and other groups pushed in, and it's primarily just to save money. So it's not something so-called personal against me, but it's about money. And the U.S. is, as they say, a corporation, not necessarily a nation per se, but it's a corporation, and so it's all about money. And so I want to make mention of this because it's not about race per se. It's about money, and it's about agenda. So yes, the initial steps of having people in the U.S. from other countries, you could pay them less, but now the artificial intelligence is kicking in. And as I made mention about this robot called Sophia, and Sophia, I fear, is going to replace, it's going to replace people. And it's going to even replace the illegal aliens, so-called, illegal aliens or guest workers. And why? Because it's going to be even cheaper than cheap labor from these guest workers. So again, it's going to be for a time and season, and women like to compete against other women. And women in the past, you have some women who feel that they could, hello, hey, yes, hi there, Costco Kelly, yes, it's good to see you. Yes, peace and blessings to you. Yes, and I've been on for a while, Kelly. Yes, I'm not right now talking about the artificial intelligence robot called Sophia, and I'm wondering whether you have heard about Sophia robot on the internet. And I'm tying she into how it's going to affect the market. And right now, you have undocumented workers, and you have the local population, and there's a shifting of populations. And so the trend now is you have a lot of American blacks leaving New York City, and many of them are moving back to the South. Yes, this trend has been happening for over 10 years now. But so this rise in the immigrant population in New York City, again, this also will be for a season. And then these undocumented workers will also be replaced, I believe, at least I feel that this is what's going to happen. The next step is to bring in this, what do you call it? These devices, like these smart devices, they're going to be implantables. I've been seeing a lot of videos about this, that people are slowly, like we have the smartphones and all that, and then now you have the people with the things in the ear, so the Bluetooth, and have one that almost look like a cigar. Really, I didn't know how about that. Very interesting. Okay, yeah. You have this artificial intelligence robots happening, and so now, just watch when you go outside out there, viewers. You're going to be seeing people with these devices in the ear. When I first saw it a couple of months ago, I thought it was someone's cigarette. I did. I said, was that person had a cigarette in their ear or a twig? And yeah. But now I know what it is. Now I look close. I said, oh, okay, that's the Bluetooth. And yeah, so you have these devices. They have it in the ear now. You have these watches now. And over the weekend I went to these stores and to take a look at these smart watches, And slowly but surely, you're going to have something. You're going to have, as you watch those movies that they have out, they're going to have these implantables, maybe something in their eye or something in their arm, And they're going to have this movie coming out. I forget the name of it, but it's going to come out in June or July. And it's about a female robot, and it looks like going to be a love story between her and a human being. Yeah. So they're introducing, Hollywood is going to introduce you to fall in love with a robot. To get, what more intimacy could you get, So they introduce, so you don't fear it. And then you're going to have the implants, maybe something in your neck or something inside your ear that's going to be permanent. Yeah. So, ladies, I know you ladies, you want to do, you want to get money for your family and everything, but realize that when you try to sabotage or hurt other people, remember that it can happen to you, and when you go back home to your countries with the American dollar, that some other group can go into your country and, do something to you. You don't want that. I just feel that what you do, you're going to receive. And so I'm very careful about how I treat people on my, when I was in the business world. And again, ladies, I remember I almost got a little distracted. That, see, you have women who use their body, they use their looks, their breasts, their curves, and they might entice an employer, and they try to outdo other women and wear more and more sexier outfits so that the boss could get their attention, and they get the raise, or maybe they don't have to do as hard work as the other people. You see this as women. I'm sure many of you seen things, but how does it make you feel? Those people who are watching and observing, it makes you angry, and it creates a hostile working environment. Big time. Big time. And so you don't want to do that, because again, it's always going to be a new model. A new model. So again, this artificial intelligence robot called Sophia, again, they could mass produce her and produce her in some inexpensive country to make it, and then bring it to your job. And maybe the men might say, I'm fed up with these women. They're really kvetching and things like that. And then marry the robot. You might think it's funny for me to say that, but Sophia, the robot from Saudi Arabia, they're going to give her citizenship in Saudi Arabia. I kid you not. I kid you not. And so, yeah, I gotta say it, because you might be the flavor now, but men and their flavors change with time. And so they can make the robot look like any race, long hair, short hair, big breasts, small breasts, whatever what is the flavor of the month. And then they can also marry. If you get citizenship, right, you probably maybe to marry. And it's made by men, and it's men from traditional countries like Saudi Arabia. Not even their own women have the right to drive a car. She has to be accompanied by a male. So if they know this is a robot, she doesn't need permission. They program her to go get the eggs and the milk and then come back. They don't have to worry about her, getting involved with somebody. And again, there's this thing called cloning, and I'm hearing about cloning, and it was amazing. I saw this, I think, maybe a week ago over the weekend. You had this. Let's see, this show was done in 2000 or 2001. This couple that wanted to do what do you call it? Clone. They tried every means to have their own children naturally, and they said, can't have it. And so they found out about this company that it's local. It's located in Korea, South Korea, and they are promoting clones. They also have mastered, I think, cloning of your pets. So if you had a dog, a favorite dog, they're cloning them. And so I think it's the same company. I could be wrong about whether it's the same company, but I know the company in Korea, South Korea, are cloning people's pets, and that costs $100,000, at least back then. But there's another company that is, they showed the steps how it's done. And so that's done, that show was done over 15 years ago, 18 years ago. So just imagine now. It's probably already done, and again, with the show I'm going to be doing, the live interview that I want to do, well, it's scheduled for the 28th, that, this sounds like the Stefford Wives. You got it, Betty, yes. Yeah, the Stefford Wives. But yeah, this organization, and I don't know how they're getting funded, but yeah, you have people in the United States and around the world that have money. And I watched this program. I was amazed, and the money was no option. They had the money, and the woman that cloned the dog, she got half off. So she did $50,000, and she got the $50,000 off because she said, well, it's going to be sponsored by this organization. I forget, some channel, television station, and they're gonna, I think, put up the remaining $50,000. So they said okay, and they viewed on television the stages of how they cloned her dog and everything, and the birth of the dog and everything. Yeah, and then she got two. Now she has two dogs. But yeah, I like I said, I'm going to be interviewing a Mr. Tony Rodriguez, who knows something about the cloning, and so this is a reality. They're hiding it from the main public, but again, that show that aired in around 2001 on human cloning, so you know it. You know that it's done, and so I'm just letting you ladies know that not only are they producing the artificial intelligence robot called Sophia, she can do your job. They can make her boobs look like anything. She doesn't really get old, and also they can do the cloning. So someone might say, hey, I want to produce a lot of me. And they can maybe sell their clone to somebody. And so you never know. You never know. Ladies, you never know. And they could do this and boot you out of your job. So respect each other. Respect each other's territory. Respect each other as women. Because women on this planet is in a very, very delicate situation. And again, men get bored, and they can get a new flavor, whether it be artificial intelligence or clone, And with food, learn how to network with each other. That's another thing I wanted to talk about. That Yeah, it's scary. It's scary. That's right, Costco Kelly. It's very scary. So, not so. The other note I wanted to say about this artificial intelligence and the cloning, that women, like, I saw something on the internet. It happened in Central America, and there was a food riot. And then there was this other video here in the States. It was an experiment. I believe it was it was done deliberately. They withheld the food stamp benefits card, and it was done in Georgia. And this particular community is overwhelmingly American blacks, and it was ladies, and they cut the card. I mean, they blocked it, the government, and so there was no money. They couldn't feed their children, and it could have been a potential riot. And I think that's what they were relying on. And so that's not an accident. But they did it in that state where they know they have a lot I think it was Atlanta. They know a lot of blacks live there, a lot of people who don't have. And why did they target that community? You have a lot of whites on food stamps. There are more whites on food stamps than blacks. Just the quantity, not necessarily the percentage, but the number is more. And it could happen in their communities. Yeah. And so they're testing us. They're testing the ground to see what you do. And they usually always start in American black communities first. Because I guess because we're very reactive. And again, if they're not of that group, they want to see you suffer. And I think it's awful. But again, they were showing over the internet these food riots, and the women were fighting each other. Yeah. Same communities, and the money, there was hardly any food in the refrigerator. I mean, in the supermarkets. And so they showed this clip in Central America, and these women fighting. And it's frightening. It's really, really frightening to see that, And there was something else that I wanted to say. I'm just looking at my notes here. Oh, I remember what else I wanted to talk about. Yeah, that with regard to the Americas, all of the Americas and much of the Americas, they had slavery, and you have women from different nations throughout the Americas whose descendants come out from slavery. And so just that alone, that should be a sisterhood because of that relationship. But we're taught to be jealous of each other and to feel paranoid or against if they don't speak your language. We speak many languages in the Americas, but we still come out from that heritage. Whether you have a mixed race, whatever, some people say, well, you have a white grandparent or grandfather, doesn't matter. Who's your grandmother? Whether she be a Native American or an African. So realize, ladies, know your history and know what has happened to you, because that alone should make you, well, I'm just looking up at the sky. A plane has made like a C shape in front of me. That is weird. It just caught my attention. That is very bizarre. So, oh well. So either way, so you have people of a common ancestry, but yes, we do speak different languages. Maybe we have different religious traditions, things like that. Maybe we dress different. But, remember that we have a common experience here in the Americas. And, we should really come together because of that common heritage and what could still be happening now to us. And again, what's happening now is a lot of poverty, a lot of poverty that's happening here in the Americas. And it's happening all over Latin America, Anglo-America, Canada, and all over. So they're testing the ground to see what you do. So the fact that many of us ladies from the Americas, we're taught to be jealous of one another. You know, we have that common ancestry, and we should come together for that reason alone, you know. We have to learn how to help each other, how to, when times get really rough, how are we going to manage, you know. And I noticed something else, that, and I think this is very telling, like, you have like, why is it that with Europe, Western Europe, those countries who had colonies from Europe in the Americas, they've done relatively well. But one day I saw a television program on a country in West Africa, and it was actually Nigeria. I know virtually nothing about Africa, but yet so many of us come from that continent, and we know so little about our history there. But I was watching one day, you know, recently, on Nigeria. It was, they have this news channel that shows live footage of stories that's happening currently in Nigeria. And Nigeria is the country where many of us from the Americas are from. You know, Nigeria, many of the slaves were brought from Nigeria, and of course other countries in West Africa. But I thought I was telling, so I was very curious about Nigeria. But I was looking, I said, wow, that in comparison, and again, it's not as I'm not saying this, I'm sorry, sorry that does. I'm not saying this as a put down. You know, you have pride in whatever type of society you live in. If this is your society, that's your society, to have pride in it. So I'm not saying this to be offensive to anyone, but I'm surprised that here you had a place like Nigeria, and you have a trade going. You had a trade going for 400 years. You have the Europeans, and then you have the West African, and there's a trade going. But it seemed like Europeans were able to take the resources and maximize in it. But the African nations that had the slave trade going, you look at them and you wonder, what did they get out of the slave trade? You look at it and you look at the environment, it's no comparison. No comparison. He said, wow, why did they do such a trade? And so I have here my notes that what every person in the Americas, person of color in the Americas, well, blacks of the Americas and West Africans, what they should get out of, what they should have learned about the slave trade is that you need to know when someone is doing trade with you, especially someone from a faraway place and, you know, totally different background, know what they're doing with the things that you're trading with. So if you have this and then you have that and then you exchange it with each other, know what that other group is doing with your product. No. I'm surprised that you didn't have African nations go over to the Americas and bring their slaves with them and have a trade. Because again, the people in West Africa, they were farmers. They knew the land and everything, and they could have benefited off of a new world too. But I don't think that was done. But you had a lot of Western Europeans that did do this move, and they went to West Africa and they bought slaves or prisoners of war. They brought them over to the Americas and enslaved them, and over generations. And then you look to see what they have. And when you look in West Africa and you look at Western Europe, night and day of the wealth. So it should have been a red flag for these Africans. What are they doing with these people? What are they doing with the products? Why is it a frenzy to get more and more slaves? They should have found out. So again, this is one of the secrets of the slave trade, because I don't know why they didn't question. And again, Europe didn't have all these powers of weaponry, not like what they have now. Basically everybody was the same. But nations were farmers. Most people on this planet were farmers. They lived off the land, and they didn't have electricity and all these fancy weaponry, but they later used the technologies and the resources of other nations, and then they conquered much of the world. So people, Africans, and you need to know where are they sending your goods, how are they using it, and how come they're prospering? How do they get what they have? It's a big one. It is a big one, and I don't know whether it's by design. Did they do this deliberate? They're doing something, and they did it for a reason. And that aspect of slavery, I want to understand. I want to know why they did what they did. It's a big secret. And you notice in the media, they really don't show Africa. They only show starving people and little children that are starving. They don't really show the culture and everything like that, like they do other countries in Europe or parts of the Americas. Again, I think it's to make you think badly about that continent, but I think something is really going on in that world, that part of that world. That's a big secret. I don't know what the secret is. I think someone might have mentioned there might be underground bases in Africa. That would really be something. I did hear that you have Chinese that want to do business in Africa. That should really be interesting. What is China up to? I do like people from China, though. The people who I've met from China that live in the United States, they're really nice. I find them very nice. At least they treat me very well. I love meeting people from China. But I'm curious, though, with China, what is it all about? Why the involvement? And they're getting involved in Jamaica, the people from China. And I heard that some of them are harvesting organs, human organs, and selling it on the black market, the illegal market, that's what I mean. So that's really something. Yeah, you need to know, if you're doing trade, know why they want your goods, and are they going to use those goods against you? Okay, that's what we should have learned. What else here? Okay. So I think I finished with that topic. But I did mention earlier I went to visit family members, and I took a train, a public train to get to the location. And there's a lot of advertisement wow, I'm just watching this. Oh, wow. That is a weird plane. Let me just look at. There's a plane that's doing these funny shapes. I have binoculars. I know this is really weird. What is that? Where did it go now? That is so weird. I don't see it now. These planes are doing these funky turns. I've never seen that. Okay, that looks like a helicopter. Very bizarre. Yes, I got binoculars. Yes, I do. If you can only see what I'm looking at in front of me, my window is directly across from me. And they're doing these weird designs. Like I thought they were going to make a heart shape or something. It was these weird curves. Wow. If they continue doing, I might just turn my camera and show you. I'm sorry. What I was saying, I'm sorry about that. But what I was saying now, there was, I went to see some family yesterday, and I had to take the train, and they have these weird, New York City. I think that's also why I've been having these headaches. New York City is getting really freaky. Freaky. I'm not into freakiness, but they have. I don't remember the name of the company, but it's a dating a dating site. You could meet people, and on this advertisement they have pictures of all different types of people, all different types of unions, and I felt that it was just being freaky. Like they had one couple straddling each other, they're facing each other and they're straddled. The legs are around their hips, and they're wearing like a bodysuit from head to toe, and the thing even covers their face, and so they're facing each other, and you don't see them, but like one hand that you could see has nail polish, another one didn't. So this may be male and female, but a lot of it's just like I feel to play games with you. I don't know. Like they have. One of them they had. Look, one of them is like they had a male and female facing it, facing the camera, and it had like a retro look, a 1970-ish look, and how the artwork was done on the photo. And then the one I thought was weird, like they have a lot of interracial couples. Like one was of a black woman and a white man, very dark-skinned black woman and a white man, and they had like I think the caption on it said you can floss together, and they have their teeth showing, and they had a black string wrapped around each of their teeth, like it was connecting, like they're facing each other, and the string, the dental floss, is wrapped around both of their teeth, and they're using the same floss on their own. It was so weird. If any of you know the advertisement I'm talking about, any of you who is from New York City and take the train, write down in the chat what's the name of that dating service, and again I mean that is so unsanitary to use the same. It's like a long string that's wrapped around in a circle, and tied a knot, and they're both sharing. It's connected to their front teeth. It looked really bizarre. And then they had another interracial black and white couple. This one is a black man, young. Both the people on this advertisement are all young looking, like in the 20s, and they the woman was white and the man was black, and they have like this goop splatter all over their face. I think it was green. It looked weird. And it's all over their bodies and face. And I forget what the caption said for that one, but it just looked weird. And then, what else? What I think why I'm noticing more, but then they didn't have a black with black relationship. I think that's why I'm mentioning that in this live streaming, because I felt, again, who you like is who you like. Who you want to date, who you want to marry is your business. And, if you're an adult, and if someone else is another consenting adult, that's between you two. But I think why it kind of got my attention, again, it's about social engineering. And I feel that this new website or whatever, dating agency or company, is doing social engineering. They're not encouraging black people to date or marry black people. Why? Because it's about social engineering, and each of the blacks were in union with the white person. And as I mentioned in another video, I think the reason behind that is so that if you have children, the identity, the blacks are going to start losing their identity. And so you're not going to fight. Someone who, like myself, I had a racial identity issues. But look, you have an interracial couple, you have a child, and who will the child relate to? So the child will be at odds about identity, possibly. Now, it may not, they may not have any identity issue, but many times, yes. And many times with a black and white relationship, many times that the identity is focused on their white heritage. And so if it's a racial conflict, whose side will they join? Bingo. So you have a potential dilemma. And so if black people or mixed race blacks don't know who they are or don't have an allegiance to black people and a problem happens, who will they follow? And will they, you won't perpetuate the culture, at least the positive aspects of black culture. So that was a concern for me. So I feel that it's social engineering and reinforcing that black on black relationships are to be avoided, but marry everybody else. Forget who you are. Don't like your own. And see, bingo, that's where the hate and the self-hate come from. The media telling you that you shouldn't be with your own. So again, this dating agency did have a white person with a white person, and then they did have homosexual unions, and but no black on black. I forget whether it had with the gay. I forget now if it was a, let's say, a lesbian thing, whether it was a black and white but of the same gender. I forget now. But either way, I was concerned. I felt like this company is just trying to make everything look freaky, the whole thing. I should have taken pictures of this. I mean, my past videos, I've taken videos or photos of these advertisements that they have in New York City subway and inside the trains. This was inside the train. So I feel that it's social engineering in the process. And again, as I mentioned earlier in this live stream, that it is what they call things done in increments. You have increments. You have people who are being reoriented to be familiar, to feel accustomed to these implants, whether it be in your ear, your arm, your hand or your arm, slowly. And I feel it's really to take over society. So the society that you see now, I feel that it's going to disappear. And I think that's also why I'm doing this video. I started to feel anxious about that because this is the only world I know. And I see like overnight things are being changed so quickly. And I'm concerned about that, really concerned. There was, yeah, oh well. Well, either way, there was something else I want to talk about. I'm going to change the topic again. So I'm finished with regarding the dating. Again, you date, you love who you want to love, but just be aware that social engineering is being used. I want to talk about, what was that thing now? Yeah, I was watching. I thought this was interesting. I started laughing. I had my videos playing, you know, on YouTube. I mean, other people's videos playing on YouTube, uh, and there was something on. It's called Space X, like up in space, about a, what do you call it? It's called the Falcon Heavy rocket. They did, at least this was aired earlier this month. Allegedly, this new type of rocket went up in the planet, you know, up in space. And I thought it was so funny. This YouTuber was commenting on the alleged flight of this new rocket, and that it brought, get this, it brought a Tesla Roadster and it's going to bring it to Mars. And they talk about some of the anomalies. And so I wanted to show you, in, I guess for more like comic relief, I hope I'm able to do this. Also, I'm experimenting how this new software I'm using, OBS, to live stream my videos. I hope it can do it. I wanted to share with you this not live stream, but this person's, so I'm going to transition this screen. Let me see, I hope I can do it right. Okay, so you see me on the top left here, and see these videos? So what I'm going to do now, so I'm going to navigate. Oh, good. So maybe it will work. What I want to show you is, okay, these are some of the videos I've been watching. Okay, I'm going to watch the center screen so I can navigate better. Okay, now this was funny. It's called SpaceX Falcon Heavy Tesla Roadster to Mars, and it's a joke, right? It was so bizarre. And then this is the one below, Falcon Heavy Test Flight, Fake X, SpaceX Rewrites History. Oh yeah, this was the, this one here, this YouTuber, yeah, the one that's Fake X. He was so, oh, I'm just picking up my little doggy. Yeah, we might go out, okay? Yeah, I wanna show you that. And he made a point. Okay, they show you. I hope I'm able to navigate on it. You know, this video here. Okay, you don't see my cursor in it. Okay, but either way, I'm going to click on this one. It says Falcon Heavy Test Flight. And this is the original video that the company that did this video, what they showed. I hope this works. Let me click on it. Okay, I'm going to turn the sound on. Okay. Now I'm going to make it go big. So this is the rocket. Okay, I have to stop it for a moment. Now this is SpaceX. This is their video, and as you see here, the person that commented on the video, he noticed that it was re-uploaded. Like this is supposed to be a live stream that was aired, and they showed the flight. And then what they allegedly do, according to this YouTuber, is they did edits on it, and then they re-uploaded it, but they took with it the original comments and all that. So you think it's the same video. So anyone that's seen this video for the first time, they think they're watching a real live stream without edit. But it had been, according to this YouTuber, re-edited. They said anything over 1 1,000, 100,000 views, you cannot edit. And they had over 1 million views. Yeah, a lot of people watched it. So they were commenting on it. Maybe I should show the other, well no, let me show their video first, the actual company that uploaded it. And I want to show you a particular thing. And why I'm showing this, well, for comment relief, and to show you that people are trying to make you think that this is real. And I question. So let me continue.
You are looking at a live view of the Falcon Heavy.
Okay.
Yes, the Falcon Heavy on historic pad 39A at Kennedy Space Center, awaiting liftoff at 3:45 p.m. local time.
Okay.
Welcome to our live launch webcast. My name is Lauren Lyons. I'm an engineer in our flight reliability department here at SpaceX. I'm so excited to be here with you today, along with my co-host, bringing you coverage of the first ever test flight of Falcon Heavy. At liftoff, Falcon Heavy is going to be the world's most powerful operational rocket by a factor of 2. And today is the day that we attempt to demonstrate that power. And because it is a test flight, there is no satellite customer on board the vehicle today, but the fairing is not empty. We do have some very interesting payloads going on.
Now what does this rocket look like?
Later on in the webcast.
Does it look like a
also walk you through the
tampon?
mission profile because this ain't your typical Falcon launch. We've got 28 engines, 3 boosters, 3 separation events, 3 landing attempts, and there's going to be a lot of activity happening all at once. So this test flight is bound to be exciting.
So what I want to fast forward it. There's a part of it. Oops. Fast forward. Okay, I'll let it show. Okay. So they show it initially going straight up, but you don't see it continue going up.
Keep us 30 seconds if you can hear me over the cheering. Falcon Heavy heading to space on our test flight, building on the history of Saturn.
So now the YouTuber is saying that it seems to be turning.
We're getting ready to throttle down for the next cue.
Okay, now it's sideways. So what camera is taking pictures of it? It's not vertical anymore. And why did they make it that shape? Look at it. That's a weird, I don't know. But there's going to be something in it that's what I really want to show you. But I want to show you it actually launching off. And it's supposed to be reality.
You've heard the call out. Vehicle is supersonic.
Okay, I'm going to stop this for a second again. Now notice the 2 pictures on the bottom, the 2 frames. Now they were saying like it's supposed to be 2 cameras, 1 on each rocket. But in actuality, according to this other YouTuber, it's 1 camera, but they have it in 2 windows. So it's the same camera, same view of the boosters, as they call it. But they made a mistake. They were supposed to have 2 cameras and 1 in each window, but they don't have that. And if you stop the frames of the video, you're going to see it's like the same flame, the same, it might be a fraction of a second off, but it does the same thing. That's also to stay noticed, okay?
Side boosters are now throttling back up to full power.
Oh, I almost forgot.
Next cue, the period of
I almost forgot. The YouTuber was saying that the person who uploaded this video that you're watching on the screen, that they made a mistake, and so they re-edited and changed these cameras that they use a different camera, but initially the live feed is what was seen before, and then they changed it and said something else was showing. So they should have wrote edited version of the live stream, and but either way, let me go.
Loads on the vehicle. Next up, we'll be waiting for the side boosters to begin to throttle down prior to booster engine cutoff and separation 2.5 minutes into flight. GNC trajectory looks good on the Falcon Heavy.
Now, do you believe that? I don't know. I don't know whether that's real. Let me keep on going. I don't know. You don't see the Earth moving.
Reports show that the M1D engine performance is nominal.
I don't know.
Side boosters have begun to throttle down in preparation for the upcoming shutdown in 20 seconds.
We fast forward it.
Successful separation. We're coming up on Nico and shutdown.
But it looks identical, don't they? Also notice the camera on top. Like 1 minute you see a different background, and then another minute you see poof, you see a planet. Let me go back a little bit. You notice how quickly it changes. The only thing that was supposed to happen that these things separated, but all of a sudden the background changes too. Let me go back a little more. See that? Watch. Boom. See that? The background changes.
Coming up on fairing separation.
Okay. Let me fast forward again. Oh, this one. This is what I really wanted to show you. This. They allegedly put a car, a Tesla, in this rocket. This is supposed to be real. In space. Do you believe this? Don't panic. See that? Look in front. It says, don't panic. So this man here, this is a dummy. It's not a real astronaut. They're at least honest with that. This is a dummy in a astronaut outfit and in a Tesla vehicle, and they have 2 cameras on it. And they allegedly had this car inside the rocket, and so they had the thing separate 3 times. The boosters separate, and then this other thing's supposed to separate, and now this car is in space all by itself with cameras attached to it, and it's supposed to be going to Mars unaccompanied. It's ridiculous. That's supposed to be planet Earth. This is supposed to be real. Okay, let me fast forward. The other thing I want to show you is the landing. Oh, let me go back. Oh, wait, let's go for it. Okay. Now those rockets, now they're coming back down. All by itself.
And that landing burn has started.
And see down below on the bottom pictures? Like also, this YouTuber was mentioning that like the one on the bottom left versus the one on the bottom right photo, that they were the same. And they landed in the camera landed in the same spot. You know? So, but they want to pass it off that the pictures for both rockets, and it's no, they use the same camera for one, but they want to pass it off that it's photos for two. I hope that makes sense, you know. But notice that the little X here on the bottom left, that's where they're supposed to, the two rockets supposed to land. One on the white one and one on the black one. Okay? And so let me continue showing. They want us to believe that they can do all this technology. Look at that. It didn't tip over. You don't see any crater. See that? It didn't tip over. You had all that thrust that's coming down, that fire, and you don't see any crater, anything like that. And we're supposed to believe that they can send a rocket to these rockets to bring a car up in space and then come back down and be in a perfect alignment of the little X on the ground that they, like a helicopter. Do you believe that? And I think, let me see, I think they give a commentary. These guys. Let me see if it's there. Oh, and also,
so it looks like the landing is happening at the moment. We have lost signal.
see,
We're hoping that signal comes back shortly.
and you know the signal does not come back shortly. See, if they put the signal on and watch, you'd be able to critique where they allegedly landed. So all this technology, and then boom, they have a technical failure, and you can't see it anymore. See, that's what they were just saying, that oh, we lost the signal. Why did that happen? So here these two are comment, you know. Let me see what else to say.
Oh man, yeah. As Michael mentioned earlier, with the vibrations of the rocket and how it shakes up the cameras that are on the drone ship, sometimes we do lose signal, or shakes up the antennas.
Oh, and we've just gotten confirmation.
We're waiting to hear what happens, and so we're listening in, and we're still waiting to hear. We'll let you know as soon as we find out. You'll know. People are cheering, but.
Wow, do you believe all that? I don't know. And I don't know whether it's the same video, but it could be in another one. Oh, this is the thing with the red car. Let me show the red car again. What's that? Great music though. Do you think this looks real to you? Do you believe this? I don't know. I don't know, but somewhere in there they claim that little car is in inside this rocket. I don't know. I don't know. Let me see what else. What else is here? Yeah, let me go back. Let's see, live. Oh, not that one. There was something, let me go back. Okay. So we saw that. But let's see. This one. This is the guy that has the comments on it.
What's a super easy way to tell that your bed
commercials.
is awful? The raw egg test. Let me prove it.
Sorry about that.
No, space. No.
Yeah, this guy's a trip. Oops. Sorry, guys. Skip that.
You know, sometimes
Yeah, this guy, he goes by the name...
you're allowed to lie to SpaceX. You're allowed to lie to NASA. You're allowed to lie to other people. If you want to go out and get a bunch of children to come to your house where you're going to teach them something, you are allowed to lie to them. You know, you're playing by the same rules they're playing by. Where things get out of control is when there is some player in the game that is allowed to go outside of the rules of the game.
Yeah. So basically what he's saying, this is Jeranism. He did a long video regarding his concern about the video that I just showed you, and that they edited something that's supposed to be a live stream, and he had made a copy of, he copied when it was originally aired, and then the company that did the initial video edited, puts it back up, but it has all the comments and all that, but it's an edited version, and they were able to maintain the viewership, the views that was on the original. Anytime you edit anything or you can re-upload anything, but it would indicate that it's an edited version, but this didn't happen. So people are seeing something, and it's not the original that was showed. And so it's to cover their mistake. And as you see in the video that I showed, that at the end of the video, they have transmission problem, and they stop showing. So you really start to wonder, could they do all this technology? Let me go back, change my screen. Okay, the transition. Yeah, let me just changing something here. Little camera. Let's see. Yeah, so yes, I'm just trying to change the screen there for a moment. Yeah, so what this YouTuber is saying, that when people could have live streaming, like this is a live stream, but let's say when it completely uploads and then I do something to it and not indicate that it was revised, it's problematic. And why is it that at the end of their video, the transmission, so you can't really examine what's going on? But I guess I share it because I thought it was funny, and it's like they want people to believe in things. Now, how is this car going to maintain in orbit? It has radiation up there. It has those, what's that belt that there's a section in space that they have these meteorites and it's going to get hit. And what if it gets back into our orbit? This car could fall from the sky and hit somebody. Why would they spend all this money to show, to show that there's a car in space and somehow it's going to get to Mars. They don't have anything better to do but experiment, like, and just put stuff, garbage up there in space. I don't know. So, but but it's supposed to be also funny for me. And but what is reality? Reality is anything that you could pull over someone, according to some channels. And I question that, and I'm questioning where our country is really headed to. We're calling ourselves something that we're not. We're putting up these dating companies that don't want people of same background with each other. They're promoting all this stuff, freakiness, and now the freak of a red car lost in space with a dummy in it, and they want to pass this off as real. It looks like a CGI, computer-generated image up in space, and then you have the green screen in the back or the blue screen in the back, and have this was supposed to be planet Earth. I don't know. Do any of you believe that? I don't believe it. But at least they had some good music, entertaining. It's all entertainment, and it's all a distraction to what's really going on. So, wow, I know I've been on here for a while. I don't know what else to say. I don't know, but things are what it is, and yeah, it is what it is out there. But who knows? Oh, I had to change my screen for a moment, but I'm seeing some of the comments now, and yeah, Betty Lucky say, IDK, if this launching is real, yet the International Space Station has many real photos of the Tesla out in space, yep, on its way to Mars. I don't know. Yeah. They lying, yes. Hey, how you doing, DJ King? Long time no hear. Yes. This is, it's before, they're playing you off for a fool, I think. They're trying to play me for a fool, but I want to get the last laugh, and if that car falls back, I hope no one gets hurt, but if it's going to fall on someone, the people who put that crap up there in space, they're putting litter up there in space. It's litter. And they think they can get away with it. This is not right. This is not right at all. But, yeah, so I see that I've been on for over 2 hours, and yeah, this is my first live stream in I think over a week, and yeah, I just felt like I was slacking back, and I don't know, I just didn't feel with it, but yeah, I'm glad I did this one, and again, it's just for for your enjoyment, and just to chill out for this Sunday, and I hope you like it, and I hope the video is clear and the sound is good. Let me know if the video is not clear or the sound. And again, this is a reminder that a little less than 2 weeks, on February 28th, I'm going to do a live, well, hope it's live. I'm going to be interviewing a gentleman who is going to share about his experiences in what they call the secret space program, and how he was kidnapped and abused. And so I really want to focus on the, because again, as I mentioned in my past videos, about human trafficking. And I want to talk to Mr. Rodriguez more in depth what he knows of with the human trafficking and slavery. I want to really know about that. I feel for this channel that people, is to let people know what's going out there and what the main media isn't sharing with you. And so I want to start to incorporate this into my channel. And let me know if any of you have ideas on what I could discuss, who you would like me to interview, or if you yourself want to be interviewed by me. Let's say you have an experience that you want to share with the viewers of my channel. Let me know. You could email me at spiritofazalea@gmail.com, or message, give me a personal message. You just go on my About page. I think I have all that information, the contact information. And if you like my content and everything, you could also donate to my PayPal Me account as well. So the options are free for you to choose, and I hope you had having a very great Sunday, okay? So keep in contact and let me know if you have ideas for future live streamings and live interviews. Let me know. So take care, and it's me, Spirit Journey, signing off. Enjoy. Bye-bye.